Welcome back in, builders. We also unlocked some minis before Kanto 4. I believe these are just going to be little, very, very short stories. And I figured I'd go ahead and throw the camera on since I was recording anyways and just go through the 3 of these. I kind of want to be prepped up so that whenever I'm ready to do Kanto 4, we're ready to go. So let's see if that's actually going to be true. Dante. Mephistopheles doesn't roar or grumble ahead all day long. Mephisto is an engine that needs rest from time to time, much like how Charon is still human and needs regular breaks. Are you still awake, Miss Faust? There's a few things left to check. As the engine is treated harshly during operations, it needs to be well maintained while at rest. To substantiate her words, Faust carried light tools and small mechanical device in place of her usual Zweihander. You're working hard. This barely counts as work. To witness Faust's magnum opus, Cordis, being overworked with no time for care, takes a greater toll, rather. She said that like after making a light smile. Do you like this update in particular? Faust looked down at me using a handheld device. Oh, this thing? Yes, I believe previously you weren't fiddling with it as often. It's nothing much, I was just making the most of the new features I've added. Whenever Faust requests a break for routine maintenance, my LCB PDA also receives updates. The updates occasionally come with additional functions, and this time, a note, the device doesn't have this functionality until now. It didn't, surprisingly enough. You didn't know that? I thought you were omniscient, Faust. Faust only knows everything that Faust knows. True, I only know what I know. Pardon me for a moment. She took a peek at the screen of my tablet. Are you attempting to write an encyclopedia, Dante? I mean, you keep using words I don't know, stuff like fixers or whatever wings are. It might be common vocabulary for you all, but not for me. I understand. I do suppose you've lost all memories of the city. Yep, so I want to write down most of the stuff here and copy down the things I've been scribing on paper while I'm at it. This clock on my shoulder could be replaced with yet another head at any moment. There's no guarantee the memories I have right now will stay with me. That's why I must prepare a backup plan like this, so I don't forget twice. Yeah, that'd just be embarrassing if you had double amnesia. It'd be like one of those Scooby-Doo skits where they're running between the doors, but with your memories. Okay, yeah, these are super duper short. Okay, that's cool. We'll just go through all 3 of these then. Will you enter the bus's back door? What the hell? Without warning, the bus ground to a sudden halt in the back streets. We'll stop here for today. Charon, I fear we didn't quite reach the destination. We're approximately 15% short of the target location. Considering our schedules, proceeding at least 3% further would be ideal. Charon's sleepy. Excellent bus drivers don't drive while sleepy. Got it. Just stop stomping the brakes every damn time. Do you know how much you've done this? Forsooth, Sir Heathcliff has crashed his nose in the back of the front seat for the 4th time, which must signify that this is the 4th screeching halt to occur. Leave the wheel as soon as you start feeling sleepy, said the radio. That's a good point, but you need to do a bit more flexible when you do that sort of thing. Ooh, a statement as plain as that can be quite amusing depending on who says it. The minted boy agrees with me. It's funny when the least flexible one says that kind of gabble. What was that? If that's what you're playing at, what about the old fogey over there who still thinks she's a wartime general? Ishmael pointed to Otis, whose veins were beginning to stick out on her veteran and placid face. Virgilius noises. This is a prime example of the terror of learned fear. It's happened enough to be familiar, but it's still rather intimidating to hear Virgilius send the bus into a chilling silence with a single gesture or utterance. What's this? You were all chatting happily moments ago. No reason not to continue. Weren't you saying Weren't you sighing to go on a proper rampage after? I was stretching, felt a bit stiff. Loda. It's laughable how you behave. You're like dogs that drool at the sound of a bell. If you've got complaints, remember my office in the back, it always has open hours. I'll make time for consultations. Miss Faust, I'll leave the rest to you. Of course. Virgilius nonchalantly walked past the sinners and their piercing stares, with Chiron at his side, and both stood at the back of the bus. Open Perilia. It's sesame, Charon. Charon knows. It's not like magic phrases are what open doors anyways. I suppose so. While they exchanged corny jokes, the door large enough to fill the backside slowly opened. Been a few months, but it still weirds me out every time I see it. It's bigger on the inside, right? Hong Lu, really big Doctor Who fan, turns out. As the back door opened, a splendid, narrow, deep, spacious hallway revealed itself. An endless corridor that looked to go on forever. Far into the hallway, classy poles demarcate the end of the area we're allowed to transverse, standing in front of an unending line of red lights. Though the place seems comfy, something about it makes eerie feelings creep up. Now that I think about it, is that one of those singularities belonging to the wing? Frau Faust, do you know anything? Of course I know, but I'm certain that you do know that I cannot speak of them in much details, Herr Gregor. Could stand to be a bit nicer about it. This is a corridor. That's correct, it's a corridor. Sure is, a long hallway with doors to the rooms on the side. Of course it's a corridor. IF. What are you trying to... Whatever. I'm too tired. Dante, please hurry on with it. Gregor's words snapped me out of idly staring down at the edge of the passage. Oh yeah, right. Dante, while you understand that you may feel it to be a bit unnecessary repetitive act, simply put, the executive manager's approval is a vital part of procedure. Please understand. No need to put it like that, Miss Faust. With that answer, I got up from my seat and stood at the front of the bus, looking at the crew. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Thank you kindly. Starting now, you will all receive a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep, rest, and the duration is subject to change. Have a good night. As soon as Faust finished speaking, the sinners walked with groans and sighs. Ah, geez, man, I'm wiped. A fine night, young Sinclair. What do you say about another game of chess? No thanks, Don Quixote. You always run into Mr. Yi saying for hints whenever you're losing. That's untrue, Sinclair. That was because I could not bear to watch the grievous misplacements. That's even worse. Monsieur Manager, and thank you for today's work. As for tonight's watch... Oh, Miss Salt, thanks for suggesting. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling sleepy today. Then Otis suddenly intervened. Executive Manager, allow me to remind you that I'm always willing to stand in for night watch duty if you ever feel fatigued. Yeah. Babushka de Gump. Now, how's about we get inside now? Executive Manager, your hard daytime work must. Sure, let's go to bed. Ishmael gave me a small nod and then proceeded to draggingly chaperone Otis to the back door with Radya. Then at last Faust and I remained. That was fortunate, Dante. Had they not forced Otis to retire, she would have nagged you for the duty of night watch for quite a while again. Does that happen a lot? I commented back as I watched the sinners head into the corridor, one after another. After Radya had entered and closed the door, Ishmael opens the same to get inside. You said the door leads to different space each time it opens, right? Yes, as long as the sinner is in the right mental condition, the door will lead to lodgings appropriate for rest and personal use. Lodging, is it? They looked more like jail cells the last time I peeked through the window. Still, she must mean it can be used as personal living space for sleep, showers, self-care, and all that. You seem to have other questions besides that. My clock had no eyes, nose, mouth, and yet I must ask questions. Somehow it feels as though Faust reads something out of me. Not that she'll tell me how she manages it. You know, just curious about what's over there. I pointed down the far end of the corridor with my finger. right to the horizon depths of a seemingly endless corridor. As I've told you repeatedly, it's best not to be curious, Dante. As expected, Faust chose to walk into the corridor with a faint sigh instead of a real answer. And yet, just maybe, Faust knew all along. She knows it all, as she likes to say. Maybe she knew that I would learn about what lies beyond that corridor soon enough. That's what we call foreshadowing. That was number 2, I believe, so we'll have one more to go. Yeah, these are kind of quick. I like that I'm not getting interrupted by combat, oddly enough. It happened exactly a week after that fruitless exchange. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Thank you kindly. Starting now, you'll be given 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night. Faust gives the same instructions as always. In response, the sinners groan and stretch like usual. Except this time, one sinner stuck out of that normacy like a sore thumb. What now? Leave him to be, Ishi. It's not the first time he's all grumpy, isn't it? And Heath, make sure to simmer down before you get in your room, okay? All that grumbling thumber keeps me awake, you know. The sinner's rooms, their lodging, personal space, and cell reflect their state of mind, so I've heard. Each room's floors, walls, and overall ambience are shaped to the sinner's personality, and the view through the window changes depending on the emotions and mental state. I wonder if the base sinner ID's ego, they all have them in prison suits and in cells. I wonder if that's what their bedrooms look like. Though all I've seen were distant glimpses through the window, so I didn't have all the details. The room Heathcliff enters would sometimes, actually rather frequently, emit wuthering and stormy sounds. Usually he'd snap by with "why should I?" or something like that, but he only clicked his tongue. I suppose he doesn't feel like arguing. Thanks to that, he stood in the corridor until the other sinners, save for Faust, went to their rooms, staring down the passage with a frown. Maybe he was relieving stress this way. Oh ho. And that right there is when the incident began. Huh? Oi, what's with all those doors down the aisle? Heathcliff pointed in the exact same direction I did a week ago. Those doors were beyond the no trespassing line blocking the way. Heathcliff, I recommend walking no further into the corridor than is necessary. That does make it sound awfully suspicious. There's nothing of which to be suspicious. You are better off listening to Faust. What, you keep treasures in there or something? Faust's secretive attitude was enough to rouse his curiosity. Heathcliff, do not do it. You'll regret your action. Got well emotional and gobby, eh, Miss Cleverness? It's like you're actually hiding something in there. He sprinted into the dark before we could stop him. What's in there? Just as I was about to ask Faust the obvious thing to be concerned over. I couldn't have said it better myself. Heathcliff's sharp scream echoed from the unlit area into the corridor. Dante, now's the time to take my left hand and run with me. Oh, we're holding hands already? Scandalous. I won't be able to get him out in time on my own. I may be engulfed myself if I don't act quickly. Before I could process what she meant, Faust ran in the direction Heathcliff disappeared. Ah, shuckaroonies. Yeah, I say shuckaroonies all the time. Wait for me. As we crossed the line and proceeded deeper in the corridor, we came across a three-way crossroad. I think I heard screams coming from the middle. However, without a moment's hesitation, Faust darted to the left side. Faust, I know you're in a hurry, but are we sure this is the right way? I could have sworn I heard his voice coming from the center path. I know. Without elaborating further, Faust continued running. At another fork we encountered, Faust chose the right path. Right afterwards, she entered a fifth door on the left side of the hallway. What is this? Right as I entered, another hall came into view. Its end was like a cliff. To be more precise, I felt some kind of gravitational pull trying to make me fall into the end of the hallway. Heathcliff! Then I saw him. He crawled towards it with all his might from the middle hallway, as if he might fall the moment he let go. What the hell is this place? Even though I couldn't see much in the dark behind him, I definitely felt a presence. Faust, what's over? Dante, I want you to hold onto the knob of this open door tightly. Firmly grip my hand as well. Holding my hand securely, she gradually approached Heathcliff. This hallway isn't tilted, is it? Why does it feel like we're hanging on a cliff? That's because we're in a corridor, obviously, Dante. Do not let go. reminding me to hold fast. Faust extended her arm while holding her Zweihander. Heathcliff, grab this if you would. Are you mental? My hand will get gashed if I try to grab a giant blade. You'll much prefer deep wounds in your pawn to what you'll suffer down there. Baffled, Heathcliff looked at the sword and then the darkness behind him. Bugger. Ah. Dante, pull him up. Might and main. Got it. Huff, huff. Right as we pulled Heathcliff up, no, I'm not sure it's even right to say we pulled him up, but nevertheless, Faust hoisted his unconscious body by the legs and started rushing, saying that we need to return the way we came. Following her lead, I supported his arms and trailed behind, keeping his head from dragging on the floor. After burning some time, phew, let's say that was fortunate he wasn't lost in a deeper area. Dante, you'll have to turn the clock. Heathcliff's gonna be okay, right? The psychological damage is likely to be severe. Our work will be encumbered if he loses his mind. I didn't have much choice. Clock powers. Good work back there, Dante. While it's unfortunate we had to lose a portion of our limited break time to this. Faust, just what's in there? Where does that lead? Can't you tell me at this point? I've seen stuff now. It was only natural I wanted to know what resides there, what was chasing Heathcliff. Moreover, why did it never show itself to us, and why did it vanish instead of chasing him further? Those questions were driving me insane. As stated earlier, there are limits to what Faust can elaborate. Yep, I honestly didn't expect much. The corridor, UIF. Ryoshu muttered with a cigarette in her mouth, walking past us both. She must have left her room while we were out on her rescue mission. However, Faust proceeded as if not a soul had walked by, as if nothing had been said. Huh? You did prevent a sudden vacancy in the bus department. Though I wouldn't exactly call it a reward, I suppose it isn't a bad idea to inform you of one thing. Oh, let me hear it. The unexpected boon had me rubbing my hands together. Right. What will she tell me now? Dante, when you traverse a road you've never walked before, what would you do? I mean, use a map, obviously. That's right. Then, even if you don't have a map, your brain will form images to serve as one. From there, on that map, you'll be at a starting point and a destination clearly marked. When you return from your trip, you'll trace your way back through. It's so obvious, I didn't need to have a verbally answer. I just nodded along. Hopefully that makes it clear enough. Huh? This is why you should remember where you started in the corridor, especially if you open a door. Flabbergasted by the abrupt end, I blurted. Now then, Faust has grown tired, do take care. She walked through the door before I could say anything, leaving me with the riddle. Of course it would go like this. I sighed out of frustration, but not a breath of air is expelled from my pitiful clock. Still, left powerless, all I can do is boot up this electronic notebook and piece together what little information I have collected. So, some sort of dimensional corridor. I wonder if it connects to things outside the bus, or if it's only things in the bus. It also sounded like maybe something is in there. Maybe that's where, no spoilers for me, please. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe that's where Mephisto's engine is or something, like the heart of it could be. All right, did you unlock anything else? No. Okay, now for realsies, when I'm ready, we can do Kanto 4. All right, let me know if this was interesting enough to you. I kind of like documenting the full game if we're going to play a story game, so I wanted to grab this, and I was set up to record this anyway, so I figured we may as well just vroom vroom through it, as it were. Okay, as usual, if you enjoyed yourself, don't forget to leave a like. If you're not subscribed, I hope I've earned your subscription. If you want to support the channel, you can always leave a super thanks here or join me live for a super chat. Check out the channel memberships or the Patreon linked in the channel info. All right, builders and sinners, I will catch you in Kanto 4 in the future. Babble out.